Hi, this is Andy. I'm going to show you how to use Weebly. As one of my friends used to say, Weebly is brain dead easy. And I encourage you, instead of creating your account right here on the first page at Weebly.com, instead you go to the button that says Education. It's a special version that educators get that allow you some additional features. Even if you don't need those features right now, I think if you're an educator, you ought to go through this front door. It gives you a little smaller screen. Over here it tells you a little bit about what can you do with Weebly. And you go ahead and sign up and accept the terms of service and sign up. With Weebly, you are allowed to create 2 free websites, and you get to pick the name of the website and the web address. Once you have created a Weebly account, the next time when you go to log in, and you'll go to Weebly.com again to log in, make sure you click the login button up in the corner and put in your email address or your username and your password. So it's easy the next time you come up here, instead of clicking on this, to try to put everything in here, and then you've just accidentally created a second account, or it says that email address is already in use by somebody. So you just go back to here. There is not a separate front door for educators to use. You can come in through this same one, and they'll realize that you're in with an education account. So since I already have an account associated with my work email, I'll go ahead and aman@muskegonisd.org and put in my password and tell it to remember me. Now it's going to see that I have already created my 2 sites, and there's a button that says add a site, but if I do want to add a 3rd site, it will tell me that I need to upgrade to the paid version of Weebly instead of just the free version. I can either click the edit button over here, or I can just click over on the hyperlink and it will take me right into to edit it. Let's take a look at this one. First things you're going to be able to do is, after you click on your page, is you're going to have the chance to change the look. Now up across here on the top you'll see a word that says Elements, Design, Pages, Editors, and Settings. If I go to my Design tab, I'm going to see that there are many different themes that I can use, and to change a theme, I just have to click on it. There are some themes that are especially designed for different reasons. For instance, over here on the left where it says All Themes, there's a pop down, and I can say, let me just look at some of the education themes, and it shows me 5 different themes that they have said might be good for education. Or let's say that you don't want the links to your pages across the top, you'd rather it down along the left hand side. There's a list of pages that have a vertical menu. These are ones where the page lists are along the left side. Now one thing I always like to remind people is that if you select one, like let's say this one, where the pages are on the left side, and you say, I like this, but that picture doesn't really fit. Once you go into the page, you can change this picture. So don't design your layout all around, oh, I love this picture, because it's very easy to change a picture. And I'll just say, nope, I don't want that one, and I can go back and look through. Let's say that for this one, I'm going to pick the one that looks like this. It looks like it has a pencil on it. I'll preview it, and after I see it, I'll say, I like that theme, so I'll go ahead and use it. So that's going to now be my theme. And how do I start to create pages in here? Well, across the tabs across the top, there is a tab that says Pages. And when I want to add a new page, I just click Add a Page, give the page a name. I'm going to call this Links, and then it's done. If I click back on one of the other pages, that page now is done. Now my new page, I don't like the name for that, so I'm going to call that my home page. And my other page, I'll click here, and I'm going to call this my Photos. So I now have 3 pages: Home, Photos, and Links. And I'm going to add another page just to show you how easy it is. Let's say that one of the things we did is we went on this field trip. So I'm going to add a new page that I'm going to call Field Trip. And I just click off of it, and now that page is there. There's Field Trip. And I'd really like Field Trip to be under my photo, so I just click and hold and drag it up, And now I have home, photos, and field trip. And there's even a way that I can make this field trip be a sub-page under photos. So I can click and drag it a little bit to the right, and now it becomes a sub-page under photos. I'm going to add another page, and this is going to be, class photos. And I'll just click off of it. And you can also click edit the page, but if I just click off of it, that class photos page is now there. I'll take it up and I'll drag it in a little bit. So now under photos I have two sub pages, and I'll show you how that works. There's even a way that I can add a blog page to my Weebly. And when I'm in the blog page, I can set it so that my blog posts are moderated. That means they have to be approved before they go live. Or I can make it so that the blog posts, the replies people might do, are just automatically go up. So let's say, yep, this looks like a good start. I'll save the settings. Now I have 3 pages, home, photos, and links, and under the photos I have 2 sub pages that have popped up when I'm here. So it really is a nice way to do it. Even though photos is really a page, there are 2 sub pages underneath it. So while I'm on my home page here, I'd like to put some content. Now up here across the top where it says elements, there are these sets of 9 different little modules. There's also a folder over here of multimedia, and there's another set of multimedia things. A couple of these items have the word Pro on it. And when you see the word Pro, that means that's something that you only get in the paid version. So my recommendation, anything where you see Pro, just skip it. There's also a revenue. You'll probably not do anything in this one. There's also one that says more. One of the things I like in the more is this little one that says divider. I'll sometimes use that. There's also a custom HTML block here as well. And up here under more there are miscellaneous ones, there's fun ones, and there's some layout ones. And this is where if you wanted to have multiple columns, you can drag this one down, and then you can put your little modules into 2 different columns if you like that look. So let's go back to the basic. And you'll notice multiple columns and custom HTML are here as well. So let's say I want to start with a title. I always think a title is a good thing to put at the top of each page so that people know that you're at the right place. When I drag that down, it put a little box in here with a blue border across the top and a little X. If I say I don't want that, I click that. But if it says click here to edit, I click, and I can type in what I want. Home page. Or maybe I'll just say home. I like that a little better. Notice that up across the top I do have a bar that showed up that allows me to bold it, italics, underline, make it larger, smaller, make it a link, do alignment. So I'm just going to say home. Now I'm going to go over to my next page. I'll click the photos page. And under photos I'm going to put the same title in. I'll drag that down, click, photos. I'll go to the next page. Notice that each time when I'm done, I'm not saving it. It saves automatically. So I'll go to my links, and I'll drag another title down here, and I'll click the word links. Now the nice thing here is when I go to home, it says home, photos, and links, so I know I'm on the right page. So let's start with the home button. The home screen, the page. If I would like to put a picture and some text in, I'm going to take this little module here, click and hold, and just drag it down onto the screen. Notice a yellow bar shows up, a yellowish orange bar that says where do you want to place this element. I'm going to put it under the word home, and when I get there it pops up into the edit mode. It says click to edit, and I'm going to put, welcome to Mr. Mann's class. And then maybe over here I'll find a picture. If I have one on my computer, I can upload it and come out to my documents and my pictures and go and see if I can find a picture here that might be a good picture of here we'll just say this one, and I'll upload that one, and there's the picture right on my classroom. Now I can write some text. I love having your children in my class, and I can continue. Now if I don't like the font or the font style, I can just select this, and a window is up here in the top that says I'd like to make it bigger, smaller, alignment, do other things with that. Okay, so it's as easy as that to start creating web elements. This picture, some other things that teachers like to do sometimes is, if I wanted to make this picture different, I can click on the picture and I have some options to say replace the image, put a border around the image, position it someplace else, and I even can make a hyperlink from the image. So if I want to put a link in that says where it's from, or if I want to put a caption underneath it, I can click here and say this is Josh and Sue on the computer. Save it, and now I have a little caption. I can even resize it a little bit. So if I say let's grab it and resize it. So like I said, people love Weebly because it is so amazingly easy to use. So as I continue, I can drag things down here. Let's go to our links page and show you how we might be able to put in some links. Well, for links, maybe I don't need a picture for this. So I'm going to grab the little box that says paragraph and just drag that underneath the word links. Click to edit it, and now I'm going to write in some of the websites that I want people to go to. Maybe one is Discovery Education. Another one is the Utah Education Network. And I can continue this list. Now to me, when you make a list like this, it looks a little boring, sort of just being in a long list. So I'm going to highlight these, and I'm going to click on the one over here that says bullets. So I like that. It spaces it out. It makes it look sort of like it's a list of something that they might need to see. Now I'm going to highlight the word Discovery Education Site, and when I highlight it, my buttons up here show up to say you want it bold, italics, bigger, smaller, but there's a little one here that looks like a chain link. And when I click this, it says, what do you want to do? Do you want to go to a website? And I say, yes, I do want to go to a website. And I want that website to open a new window, but if I type it in, I might mess it up. So instead, I'm going to open another tab in my browser, and I'm going to go there right now, discoveryeducation.com. And I want students to be able to know this site because we've created accounts for all of our students, which you can do if you have a Discovery Education account in your school, and most of our school districts do. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go back into Weebly, and I'm going to paste it in. It automatically adds the HTTP, so I didn't have to worry about that. I like to say open it in a new window and click Save. You'll notice that after I've done that, it actually changes the color, and when I roll my mouse over it, it puts an underline underneath it, and I know it's a good site. Another site that I want my students to be able to know about is the Utah Education Network, UEN.org. And under the UEN.org, under the Student Center, the K-12 Student Center, I want them to know about these interactives here. So I want them to know that they can go to these and find some really cool things. Now I may put the link instead of to this front page. Maybe there's a specific interactive that I would like for them to use. Because sometimes you just send them to this page, they could get lost exploring other things. But in this case, I'll just use the front page as an example. I highlight the text, I right mouse click, and I go down to copy. So again, that technique again is I highlight the text in the address bar, right click to copy, and it doesn't matter if I'm left or right. Now over here, I'm going to highlight the text I want to be the hyperlink, click my little chain link button, paste with a right mouse click, and say open it in a new window. Save it. So now I've just put in two links that will work. Now sometimes people say, well, mine isn't working. Well, there is a go to button right here when you click on it now, or once we publish it, it'll work. A third thing that people oftentimes like to do is they like to be able to put in photos. So here's one of I'll go to my field trip page. In the field trip page, I'll go ahead and put in here, I'll put in this field trip. And then underneath this, under multimedia, I have some options. I can put in, under basic, there's one that just says picture. Okay, I'll show you that, picture. Click here to edit, upload from my computer, and I'll put in a picture here. I'll use a Civil War picture, and it's coming up. It scans, and there it is. Civil War picture. Okay, that's my field trip. I'll make it a little bit smaller, and if I want, I can. There are some alignment tools here. Okay, so I've just put this picture in. Now there are some really cool multimedia things that I want to show you. One is there's a photo gallery option. Let me put that in here at the bottom. And here, when I go to click and upload the images, I can select a bunch of images. Let's just select. I'll hold the Shift key down and click the first one and the last one. All these now have little squares around them, and click Open. It's going to upload these pictures, and it's going to put them all in a little thumbnail view that now when someone comes here, they can click on these and they can go through and view these pictures from our field trip. Interesting looking field trip. And they can click on them and they'll become larger. Another thing that you can do is there is a slideshow option. I'll go ahead and put that one here in the very bottom, and just to show, and it gives you different choices. Simple slideshow, where it shows the thumbnails. I'll just say the simple slideshow. I'll put that in, and then it asks me to upload the pictures. And this one, I think I have some pictures that are, instead of there, are some pictures from I don't think I do. So we'll go ahead in here, and I'll just pick some other ones here that I'll use. I'll just pick these 6. I held the Shift key down to click the first one and the last one, or I can hold the Control key and click them if they're not next to each other. I'll click, it's uploading them. Occasionally a district, the upload won't work, and then there is an alternative upload where you can upload things one at a time. I can add captions, make them hyperlinks. I'll go ahead and save it. Now I have a little slideshow in here, and I'll show you what this looks like when we're all done. So 3 different ways to add pictures. Let's go back to our front page. Another thing that is really nice about this is sometimes you want to be able to put in documents. Maybe it's a permission form, maybe it's a syllabus, and up here under multimedia is the link. It's also, I think, nope, it's only under multimedia, the word file. I just drag file down, let up on it, and when I let up, I have a choice here that says click to upload a file. Okay, pretty straightforward. I click, and a little pop-up window shows up here. So if I want to upload a new file, I click here to upload the file. I navigate out here to wherever my file is located, and I want to upload this time-saving tech tools that's in a PDF. Click Open. It uploads it, and it'll even put a little symbol to say that's what it is. It's a PDF file. And I'll show you one more little trick that is oftentimes is one, and we'll go back over to our photos, and I'll come down to my class photos trip. Now later when I say, you know, these photos, class trip, that doesn't seem right, I can easily go back to edit, and I can say, you know, the field trip, I don't think that's, let's call that Civil War. And I just click off of it and it remembers the name. Class photos, I don't think that's the right one. This is going to be tutorials. And save it. So now under photos, I now have Civil War and tutorials as my 2 pages. I'm going to go into my tutorial page and say, you know, I would like to put a little video tutorial on how to do something here. Or I want to do something I found online. I'm going to grab an element. There are a couple ways that I can put in some multimedia from, say, a site like YouTube. One is I can click the multimedia button, and they actually have a YouTube button. I can grab that down here, and when I click on it, it says, okay, it gives me a little movie right here, and when I click on that movie, it starts to play. But it also gives me a window that pops up here that says, what's the URL for the YouTube that you would like to get? So I'm going to come out here to YouTube. And in YouTube, I'll go to my channel where I have some resources here that I'd like to be able to see. And let's say that I'd like everybody to understand how to do something with Digo. So here's my video tutorial on Digo, and I'd like that to be over here on my site. So there's a button that says share, and there's a link right there. I'll just copy that URL. and over here I'll paste in the video URL right there. Gives me options, the size and everything like that. And when I'm done with this, I'll just click off of it. It automatically saved it, and there's my little video tutorial built right in. There is also a way that I can use the HTML code. That's a little bit more advanced, so we're going to skip that now. So far we've been able to add pictures, text, photos in 3 different ways: a single photo, a photo gallery, and a slideshow down here. And we've been able to add links in our links page here. And I could add a lot more, and sometimes I even want to divide things. So maybe here are my links, and underneath it I want something else. Over here in this more, there's a divider. Sometimes I like that. It sort of breaks up your screen, like puts a little horizontal line. I can change how thick it is as well. So then maybe underneath here I want to put some other things. So that's about it. When I'm ready, I click publish. Now you need to watch this carefully, because when you hit publish, here's what's going to happen. It's going to publish your site, but it gives you this little white box, and everybody thinks you need to put something in here. You do not need to put anything in there. Just completely ignore it. Click here to take you to your site. So here's my site, live and ready to go. I can click to download a file. I can come here to my photos page, and under photos, here's the photos page, or I can go right to the sub page, Civil War. So here's what one picture looks like. Here's my gallery, and the nice thing about this is if I click on any one picture, it comes up large, and I can close it and look at other pictures. So it sort of zooms that picture up large, or I can go to the next picture in the gallery or the next picture in the gallery. Or I can come down here and come to my slideshow. And my slideshow is running right now. I can advance it automatically, or I can just hit play and it will go through and cycle through my pictures in a predetermined time that you can set. My links, if I come over to my links page, here they are. I can click on them. It'll take me out to that site, and I told it to open it in a new window. So instead of a new window, I have my computer set to open it in a new tab, but it's about the same way. So that's just about everything I want to cover. I did want to cover one other little sort of advanced feature, and that is up here under the word settings. Under settings is where you can set your address that you want to use and what you want as your site title. You can set it so the title shows on the top of every page or doesn't show on the top of every page. You can also change the address. I chose maisd.weebly.com. When you go to use an address like this, that address goes in front of weebly.com. It's actually called a subdomain, and that you need to remember the name you're going to use needs to be all smushed together. No spaces are allowed, no funny characters, and I tend to like to do it all lowercase. I think it's easier for the customer when they see everything all lowercase. So like Mr. Man's Classroom, or Whitehall, Whitehall School's 3rd grade, something. So all those things are things you can do. So that's about it for Weebly. I think you will find it amazingly easy to use, and I won't go into some of the teacher things that you have, but under the teacher settings you can actually have editors. I'll just show there's a tab up here called editors, and I can assign students as editors to certain parts of the blog or parts of my website. So like I said, there's a lot of nice things about Weebly. It's free, and they do have paid for versions that give you some additional features. So hope that you find it helpful. Give it a go.